My advice to anyone who wants to start a career in fashion: get a proper education, take your time to grow. Picasso's quote, like, you can only break the rules if you know the rules, is for me completely true. So learn, do your homework, and get excited about it.
Hey, Dr. Bill here. Get ready for a super duper duper exciting Meet the Mentor with my good friend Bernd. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to my dear sweet friend Bernd. In English, we say the last name Kroeber. In German, you say it?
Kroeber.
Exactly. He was Executive Vice President of Design and Creative Director for BCBG Maximaria Group. Throughout his career, Bernd's signature romanticism and infusion of sensual elements into clean, modern designs has shaped many brands in his portfolio and continues to transform women's fashion. And I'll tell you how in a minute. His distinguished career in fashion began at the University of Hanover in London, where he received traditional training in draping, sewing, pattern making, and sketching. Bernd worked for top international fashion houses like Donna, Karan, Strayness, Eli Taharia, and
Eli Tahari.
Tahari, and BCBG, where he just finished working how many years there?
12 years.
12
I
years.
Just finished 6
His
weeks ago.
aspiration was to create captivating styles that just appear effortless. Bernd is also known as a brand leader with a unique combination of creative accents and business acumen. His keen sense of global marketplace has enabled him to build brands from concept to consumer by staying true to the brand DNA. And just so you have an idea of the scope, while he was running the creative department at BCBG, he was responsible for how many collections a year?
38 collections.
38 collections a year. And in 38 collections, you had how many pieces of clothing in each one?
Between 100 and 300 pieces.
100 to 300 pieces of clothing. That's just mind-boggling that any one person could do that.
It's exciting. I mean, you are surrounded by an incredible team, and it's teamwork and team effort. So yeah, we created magic together.
But being the leader of the team had to have been hard. Tell me, first of all, why did you even get into women's fashion?
As long as I can remember, I was obsessed with fashion. I was a very sensitive and dreamy boy, and fashion is and was my big escape and my fantasy. So whenever I put something on, it changed my attitude. I feel stronger, more empowered, more sexy, more joyful, more playful. So this emotional impact it has on me, and when I observed my mom and my grandma and the people around me, was always magic.
But
so
why women's fashion, not men's fashion? You've really
because
only
it's so
done women's fashion.
I'm sorry, but for me, women, there is this magic around. Always when I, like a little boy, I saw my grandma, my mom, and those Hollywood icons, like how playful they can embrace their body. And it's, for me, much more creative and much more expressive. So it was a natural decision for me to enroll into fashion school when I was 18 and become classical trained in a fashion design.
So let's talk about your journey. I mean, I know we can joke about this, but you literally had like the largest Barbie collection in all of Germany as a kid, right?
No, I did. I love Barbies. I still do when I go in
You know she's my patient.
Oh no, I want to meet her.
Barbara is my patient.
That's so exciting.
Barbara Siegel is a friend, and her family was the Hendler family.
Oh my God.
And you know what her brother's name is?
No.
Ken.
Ken. Oh my God. Ken and Barbie.
No,
oh yeah, that would be my dream. I would love
She's
to.
the best.
Because I would love to design for them. So yeah, I just loved dressing Barbies, being in my fantasy world, and that's fashion for me. It really is, makes me feeling alive.
So you started what, at like 5, 6?
Oh, 3, 4. I had
Really?
like the first thing I wanted is a Barbie, so my grandma bought me a Barbie, and then I wanted more, and dressing them, and so yeah.
Now, did you actually make clothing for them? Or
I did, of course, yes. Like with little hanky, how you call it, tissues and like little swatches of fabrics.
So tell me the whole journey. So you start off, and then at 18 you went to where?
To fashion school and had classical training, and I'm a strong believer in a strong education because you need to understand the fundamental skills of fashion. So it's draping, it's sewing, it's construction, it's sketching.
But
it's
you also
fabric.
drive, see
yeah,
your
I
drawings
love
are
drawing.
amazing.
I always sketch my whole life. So it comes natural to me, but it's important to get the skills. And so that my advice to anyone who wants to start a career in fashion, get a proper education, take your time to grow. Picasso's quote, like, you can only break the rules if you know the rules, is for me completely true. So learn, do your homework, and get excited about it. So this is, I really took it very serious. But after, when I graduated, it's time to have fun. And I also would, advise, or like, that you travel the world, get different cultures, get feeling, get so much experience, get out of your comfort zone to build this inner library of experience, of memories, because this will be the creative foundation, your fountain of creativity, which you will be inspired your whole life through. So
yeah, but I mean, speaking of inspiration, like, what inspires us? I mean, to be able to produce that many different articles every year and build these collections, you have to have like a deep inspiration. What is that?
First of all, you have big teams around you. So, but number one, it's fashion is a cycle. So first of all, I mean, I always loved fashion, so it's a cycle, and you just feel what is next. So that's a gift, and also like expertise. Then you have your story. Every season I come up, I see a picture, I see a book, I see a movie, I see beautiful people, and I get inspired. So then I start building my story, but the most important part is the fabric, because the fabric dictates the design, and so the nature of the fabric. So I always go to Paris twice a year to the Premier Vision and see the new fabric developments, and from there you get inspired. And there you build like your story, your concept, your vision, and then you don't have a free ticket, because at the end of the day, fashion is all about money. So you have to protect your bestsellers, your repeat bodies, your seasonality, everything to bring the money in. So then with all is put together within my vision board, then I sit with the teams and we create the magic together.
But this is the thing that I don't like. I went to BCBG and I saw your vision board, and you're like, okay, so you're planning like today for the clothing that's going to come out almost
next
year
year,
later,
yeah.
right?
You're always
and
a year
you're
ahead.
saying, okay, these are the colors for next year. Like, how did you know that this color, this color, this color are going to be the colors for next year? You know, like, what makes that decision right versus that color, and that color? Like, that's the part that always blew me away. You know, how you guys do that.
Again, it's a circle, it's a cycle. It's like you can gauge like where the color flow will like transfer into, but also you work with trend services, you work where you go to the fabric show. Like fabric is a major inspiration. So you see all those vendors like where they dye their fabrics in, and you see, oh, it gets all more muted, it gets more bright, and you can see the tendency there. And then you know your customer, first of all, you always have to protect your brand DNA. So you know your customer prefers certain colors, so you have to honor her. And then you bring the fashion color. So next year it's all about pink, so you bring in the pink. Or last year was all about yellow, and then you build little stories around it. So, but it's an intuition and like a radar and like being around and seeing what's going on.
How easy is it working with all these creative people?
It's a circus.
Does the devil really wear Prada?
It is, but it's the most fulfilling thing. I mean, bottom line is, I was always blessed with incredible teams where the product comes first. Like, my mentality was always, when you enter the company, your ego stays outside, and it's all about the vision. And I was always lucky enough having teams around me who had the same sense and mentality. So this is the real magic of working in fashion, when you are surrounded by an incredible team and you motivate and uplift yourself and with each other. And yeah, then you see this beautiful collection coming out, and that's the most touching moment.
That's awesome. So if we have a young student watching this who's really interested in getting into the world of fashion and design, what advice would you give him or her?
Please have a proper education. Do travel the world, get out of your comfort zone, get different perspectives on cultures and diversity. Do internships, because as an intern, you have the highest privilege, honestly, to make mistakes. Do mistakes, learn from mistakes, admit mistakes, and move on. And then you become an assistant and really be humble within your career. And so my key words are always be happy, be humble, and be hungry. Be happy, have the positive, engaging, encouraging, compassionate attitude, and uplift the people around you and inspire them and motivate them. And especially when you are young and start a career, that's your job. Like, you're young, you're fresh, give this energy. Be humble, so never be snobby. You're not too good for any task. I really believe you can learn from any task. It makes you growing, it defines you, it humbles you, it grounds you. And learn as much experience you can get, and then be hungry. Be hungry to learn, to grow, to get out of your comfort zone, explore the world, and be hungry enough also to understand when it's time to move on.
Yeah, that's really great advice. Personally, you've done a lot in this world, and it's a very competitive world and hard to get in. And I always ask people, like, what would you say was your big break? You know, the thing that really kind of put you on the path to success in fashion.
Oh, I was very blessed. Like, when I worked at Strenes, and Gabriele Strehler, the creative director, became my biggest mentor. And fashion is all about the detail, and she made my eyes so sharp, so sharp. And when she allowed me to do my own line, it was a denim line, and it was completely what I felt. And I had my little runway show, and it was my baby, and I could see, like, it was giving birth. And I remember her husband at that time told me, when you once lick the taste of success, you will never get rid of it again. And it started this hunger. So you want to again and again, and you create this beautiful picture in your mind. And every collection, you try to get closer and closer and closer.
Oh, that's awesome. If you could wave a magic wand right now and say, this is what I want my career to look like next year, I know you're at a big crossroads now because you've done so much and you're kind of looking for the next big adventure. What is it that you would, like, in a perfect world, say, this is it, this is what I'm doing?
I can't talk too much about it. I have a very clear picture ahead
in
my mind.
I know
but
you're such a planner.
I want peace. I want fashion. For me, as I say, it's an emotion, it's an energy, it's a happy maker, it's a communicator, it's a connector. So I feel we live in a world where it's too much noise, too much product, too much of everything. So I want to create simplicity, and I love this quote, nothing matters but your spirit. So everything you do needs a meaning, a purpose. So, and fashion became so, for me, meaningless. It became all over the place, and I really want to simplify, refocus, and start something very authentic with beautiful creative minds to create the next chapter of fashion.
Cool. All right, another question. Of all the challenges that you've had in the world of fashion, what's the one that really sticks out to you as being like, this was a huge success for me? Like I would say like when I do a full mouth reconstruction case, I would say, bam, that one was my best one. What would you say is like the proudest thing you've ever accomplished in the world of fashion that you would like to share with your closest friend?
It was when we created for Max Azria a line for Walmart with Miley Cyrus. It was something so out of my comfort zone and my expertise. It was a mass market collection, a very aggressive price point. It was junior, it was very playful. But the result and the success of this line, which was so democratic and so approachable, so blew me away. So I could have never imagined. I worked always like in my little tower of beauty at fashion, high end, and then having this power of creating democratic, approachable lines, give complete different perspective how to see fashion. And this is where I changed. Yeah, fashion has to be democratic. Fashion has to be reasonable and approachable and affordable. So there was a big shift in my mind how I reviewed fashion.
Last question. How much of your success do you feel was due to luck, and how much do you think was due to just hard work?
Oh, I mean, I'm so blessed and so lucky. I mean, that I got so incredible mentors in my life through whole my career, like Gabriele Estrella, Ziazrias, Edi Tahari bringing me to New York, Tom Gilbey in London who gave me my first job. There's other people like students I studied with who got me my first job as an internship in London. So there are so many people who opened doors for me. So that's luck, and you have to be ready and open and embrace it, but then you have to bring the effort and the very hard work and dedication. As much as Gabriele Estrella is my biggest mentor, but it was tough love. It really was hard and big sacrifice, big dedication, but I am who I am because of those moments and those people, like the person who made me creative director of BCBG. Like, that was a dream come true. I could have never imagined that that would happen to me, and overnight I'm suddenly creative director of BCBG. So those are moments you wish for, and suddenly they are there. But this is really like a lucky charm.
You're amazing. You're amazing. And I know that whatever chapter opens for you next, you'll continue to be amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But always remember, everything in life is a team effort. And so you need the attitude for being like, compromising, adjustable, flexible, and embrace the team spirit. So that's the number one rule.
I always say, I never put a single veneer on by myself. You don't work in a vacuum, and to be successful in this world, you need to work with people.
Absolutely.
So, Bernd, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ich liebe dich.
I love you too.
Hey, Dr. Bill.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.